Hello and welcome. I'm Rambo Talabong and this is Rappler Talk. Where there are people, wealth, and inequality, there is crime. And no other region is as abundant in all of these as the National Capital Region, Metro Manila. We speak today to the Metro Manila Police Chief, National Capital Region Police Office Chief, Director Camilo Cascolan. Hi, sir.
Hello,
Thank you for
Rambo.
joining us, sir, here at the
Thank you
Rappler
for
office.
inviting me.
Okay, sir. Let's go straight to the point, sir.
Yes.
You being the RD, Regional Director of the NCRPO, sir. In brief, sir, can you introduce yourself, your past achievements and assignments, and what makes you think that you are qualified to lead NCRPO?
Yes. I'm a graduate of Philippine Military Academy in 1986, and I graduated high school, UP College Baguio High School. I also graduated in Meronong Convent School in my elementary years. I had 6 past experiences of elections, 3 in Iloilo, 1 in Compostela Valley, 1 in Taguig City, another barangay elections in Compostela Valley. So that makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I've also been always active in my activities, most especially when the first time that I was assigned in the field, I was able to have a lot of accomplishments in ARMM in Iloilo. I was having more or less 2 to 3 positions at one time, and at the same time, I know that my performance will speak for itself. I have had a lot of experiences, but of course, I continue to learn.
Most of your assignments, sir, are in Mindanao and in Visayas,
Yes.
sir. How about in Luzon and Metro Manila particularly?
Well, I was assigned in Taguig City Police Station in 2008 to 2010. That in 2010, it was the local elections then. I had a lot of brief experiences and challenges with regard to Palar, a community in Taguig City, Maharlika, and we were the ones who actually cleaned the C5.
How would you describe Metro Manila, NCRPO, as regional police, and what makes it different from other regional police offices?
Well, first, NCR is the capital of the Philippines.
Yeah.
Second, NCRPO is the showcase of the PNP.
What do you mean by
nationwide.
showcase?
You showcase almost everything: your performance, your equipment, your resources, your people, the way how you dress, the way.
Would you
how
say that
look.
it represents what happened?
It represents the whole Philippines actually, except of course for what we call ISO areas. It's different because as RD and CRPO, you are a 2-star, and the other regions are only 1-star, and this is where you see almost the whole Philippines. We have our Muslim brother communities here. We have Christian communities.
Yeah.
Trade is here in Manila.
Yes.
All the government agencies, the central government agencies.
It's a difficult
government
position to
here.
handle, sir.
Yes.
But before you were assigned to RD NCRPO, sir, you were already the director for operations working in Camp Crame.
Yes.
And usually this position is used as an entry position to get 2 stars.
Yes.
But you already had 2 stars back in Camp Crame. Why did you choose to take this position despite being already in Camp Crame and already having 2 stars?
First, I want to accept the challenge of being an RD. Second is, it will complete my career ladder because the only position that I was not able to pass through is actually a regional director. I went directly I passed through squad leader, assistant platoon leader, company commander, chief of police for so many times, a provincial director, a chief of staff, deputy regional director for operations, deputy regional director for admin, and I skipped the RD. I skipped one. I went
Is it
directly
just for
as
the
DO.
sake of completing the position, sir?
Not only that, of course. The challenge is there. It's a very good challenge for me.
Why did you want to take up on this challenge?
I need to know if my strategy in the Directorate for Operations is really being used, and at the same time, can it really cover my whole experience? Regional director is a very different experience. You have your own people, you have your own men, you have districts in NCRPO, and the strategy that you have been asking the people or the regional directors to be implemented will be implemented by me myself.
Just a short recap, sir. It's because you want to see your plans because you're one of the authors of Upland Double Barrel in action. You want to see it in action. You want it to be implemented properly.
Yeah.
Now, sir, my question is, what would make you a different RD as compared to all the other RDs?
I don't want to
Because
carry
it's a
my-
different region.
It's a different region, but one thing is, Well, of course, I would want to. I would want that I would be able to surpass all the challenges and all the accomplishments of the former regional director, General Odio Albayalde, who is now our Chief PNP, Police Director
You're,
General.
also, you're a classmate also.
My
right?
classmate. But if I would not be able to surpass, at least I would equal what he has done.
What particular achievements do you want to equal or want to surpass?
Well, accomplishments in double barrel, accomplishments in the enhanced managing police operations, accomplishments on crime, peace prevention, crime prevention and law enforcement. Of course, internal cleansing would be one. And I would want to go down again because I had experience of being in the field for more or less 25 years. Out of my 32 years, I have more or less 25 years in the field.
Now, PNP Chief Director General Oscar Albayalde is known for going around Metro Manila with his motorbike. Will you do that too, sir?
Not in motorbike, of course. I don't use motorbike.
What will you use? But you're going around. You're going to go around Metro
We're
Manila.
going around. We're using our service. I have two motorcycle escorts too, and of course one backup. I have been to many places already. I've been visiting during night time. Last night I spent my time in Pasay City looking after the jail and what really happened to the two who were killed by the mayor of the prison cell. At the same time, I have to go around and was able to see some people in the streets, some PNP in the streets, and I talk to them.
But will there be surprise inspections?
Of course.
Midnight inspections?
Of course.
Hindi ba, sir, makikita kayo kaagad kasi merong kayong wangwang or may escort kayo? You're riding in a car and not a motorbike, which is more or less more stealthy.
Well, there may be some ways how to do it, and one way is, of course, the motorcycle escorts could just be at our backs, and we will be the ones who will be leading the convoy. There will be a lot of ways on how to surprise our people.
Okay, sir. Sabi, sir, ni Duterte, President Duterte said that the Metro Manila Police is a pain in the ass. How would you plan to fix this?
Well, first, I would instill discipline in my people, and I will cleanse our ranks of criminal activities. Secondly, I would have to teach them. I will have to teach them, give them the chance of knowing the basics of policing the community. Third is, I would have to concentrate on the three programs of the president:
What?
anti-criminality, anti-drug, and anti-corruption. In anti-corruption alone, you would be able to know that there are a lot of PNP before, most especially before, that were involved in drugs and even illegal gambling, all criminal activities. One way maybe of at least cleansing our ranks is to cleanse these people of their criminal activities. I would want personally to teach them how it is done. That's one of the challenges that I
How would
want
you
to
do
face.
that, sir? You're going to gather all the cops and then you're going to talk to them? Ganun ba?
Well, of course, we have our district directors, we have our chiefs of police. We will be using these people in cleansing our ranks. Of course, I need their support first, and that's why I'm going around, showing to them. As a leader, I have to lead by example.
And about cleansing, sir, from top to bottom to sir,
Yes,
you will also fire district directors who will
Of
be
course.
implicated.
of course.
Okay, sir. Do you have a particular policy when it comes to internal cleansing, sir? Kasi wala naman kayong CITF. CITF, the Counterintelligence Task Force investigating cops, is based in Camp Crame. But in NCRPO particularly, what will you do?
Well, first of all, everybody has to police the ranks. Second is we are coordinating actually with CITF with regard to internal cleansing, and they will be going around more than what they have done before. Yan po ang gagawin natin.
Will you have a particular policy or a statement policy? Like, is there going to be a one-strike policy?
Of course.
One-strike policy, sir.
One-strike policy is always the case, most especially with regard to criminal activities.
How about the Regional Internal Affairs Service? Do you have a directive for them to fast-track cases?
We will be requesting them, of course, to fast-track all these cases, most especially those involved in illegal drugs.
But for the particular corruption cases, Scalawag cops, what particular mistakes of cops do you hate the most, or do you want to focus on the most?
Extortion.
Why extortion?
More big-time extortion. When I say big-time extortion, these are people who actually are very corrupt and they enrich themselves because of extortion.
Metro Manila cops are bad at extortion, sir? They're good at extortion?
No, I did not say that. But you asked me what particular one. But for those people, for those PNP who does extortion, it's not only here in NCRPO. There are a lot of scalawags doing it around nationwide, actually. But that's one of the things that I don't want with regard to criminal activities of the PNP. And of course, when you talk about extortion, robbery comes in, all big-time criminal activities comes in. Kidnapping, robbery, what more? What more can you think of? Maybe extortion of big-time businessmen. Planting drugs planting drugs into these rich people so that they would be able to pay you.
Have you been briefed, sir, about which particular problems are rampant when it comes to NCRPO?
Yes.
Ano daw, sir?
Theft,
Theft.
robbery, physical injuries.
How do you plan to fix that?
We're talking it out already. For physical injuries, theft, robbery, we need more people on the streets. We need more people who will have to respond to motorcycle riding suspects. We need more. I believe we need buddies. Buddies. I'm planning to train protective dogs so that our PNP police
This is for
patrolling-
crime already, the criminality in NCRPO.
and anti-criminality. I'm planning to train protective dogs that will have to be that will be buddies to our PNP personnel who will be patrolling the streets.
So, more K9, sir.
Yes.
How will you procure that?
Well, of course, we will ask the national headquarters to help us out.
Okay,
and
sir.
Donations from the community.
Okay, sir. It's good that we already transitioned to talking about criminality,
Yeah.
sir. Will you be introducing a criminality plan in NCRPO?
Well, yes, I will be trying to some kind of making implant out of my own initiative in the directorate. That's the Enhanced Managing Police Operations.
EMPO, EMPO.
I just don't know if they told you that, but EMPO has eight factors. The first one, 8 parts. So the first one is regular law enforcement activity. Letter A of RL, law enforcement activity is, of course, anti-criminality programs and campaign. Number 2 is crime investigation and solution. And letter C is internal cleansing.
That's a lot, sir. But for EMPO, what's the heart of that plan?
The heart of the plan is for everybody to know what to do in case of any kind of crisis situation.
Do you mean to say that cops do not know what they should do
they
when
know.
there are crises?
They know, but sometimes they are confused.
For example, sir?
For example, let's say a bomb exploded in a certain district. Will the other district respond? Will there be, their boundaries should be closed. It should be protected. If District 1, District 2, and District 3 are neighbors, District 3, if District 1 had a bomb explosion, District 3 has to close its borders from District 1. District 2 has to close its borders from District 1. And then we have all the other PNP should be able to know what to do. Who will respond? Will there be a first responder? Will there be somebody who would be a team of SWAT that will have to immediately respond?
So it's systematizing
Yes,
crime
systematic
response.
crime response.
Kasi ngayon ba, sir, does it mean, I don't know if you observed this, but parang larga-larga lang sila, dire-diretso lang, basta-basta na lang, ganun ba?
Hindi naman. Kaya nga, we need to systematize everything. That's why we need to teach them how to respond to in certain cases.
Why is it important to systematize?
It's very important because if not, our PNP would be the victims themselves. They might be the ones who might be hit by their own policemen. Karamihan ganyan kasi. If District 3, District 1, a bomb explodes in District 1, District 3 would like to help, District 1 would want to help. They go to District 1,
It reminds me of like raising a fire alarm. First alarm,
second
people,
alarm,
second,
yes.
it's the same as that,
Yes.
that mechanism, sir. Okay, sir. Are there particular hotspots in NCRPO that you will be focusing on?
I will not say it's a hotspot. It's an area of concern.
Area of concern.
Yeah, an area of
Which are
concern.
areas of concern for you?
Well, those that are crime prone. Second, where the elections will be might be violent because
Election.
of competition, and of course, areas wherein criminal activities thrive or criminals thrive.
Can you name these areas, sir?
Well, I would not want to name them first.
Or cities, districts, which parts of them?
Well, maybe cities and districts, almost all, most especially Southern Police District, Quezon City Police District, and Manila Police District are one of those, are the three priority areas.
Okay, sir. Prioritize nyo to, sir, for
Yes.
anti-crime and also for this election period.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Let's go, sir, to the war on drugs. You're very familiar with this, sir. How do you plan to implement
Well,
Upland Double Barrel? Because you came from Krame, now
Yeah.
you're in NCRPO. How do you plan to implement this?
Well, the same way as they have implemented it. We need to follow the proper procedures. One is the additional procedures is from 8 to 5. The Tokhang is 8 to 5. I would like to clear first. We have Oakland double barrel. It's double barrel because the first barrel is Project Tokhang. The second barrel is Project HVT or High Value Target. Tokhang means to knock and plead. So it is a police community relation activity. It is not an anti-drug operation.
What is a police community relation activity?
It's going down to the community, immersing, and knowing their sentiments.
So there is
Yes.
no file.
No file. No operations at all. It's a very simple activity wherein you would be able to get their sentiments and be able to get their trust and confidence.
Ideally, it's like an outreach activity.
Yes.
But what happens, sir?
Well, Tokhang was elevated into an anti-drug operation. Tokhang is only to knock and plead
It's elevated by who?
by the people, by the media.
By the public? By
Yeah,
the
by
media?
the public. They thought, yeah, just like the words, itokhang ka dyan. Which means to say, ay, baka may mangyari dyan, itotokhang ka dyan. But tokhang really means, I knock at the door, I personally talk to the person in my watch list.
Yeah.
If I was not able to talk to him personally, it is not considered as 100% complete.
So the police has to befriend the community.
Yes.
They have to be part of the community.
Sure, yeah.
But I wanted to press more you, sir, on this issue. What happened to Tokhang, sir? Is it really just because of the media and the people? There's no lack in the side of the policemen?
Well, of course there is. Of course there is. We have to admit the fact that there was some lapse in the PNP because in Tokhang we now ask them to invite the barangay captains or barangay councilors, the prominent families or prominent figures in the area, those who are respected in the barangay, and if ever we want to invite the media so that they would be able to record the Tokhang.
Why do you think, sir, there were lapses on the part of the policemen? Is it because now it's being questioned in the Supreme Court, sir? It is easily abusable, the guidelines that you were part of in drafting, sir?
Well,
what
they
do you
didn't
think?
follow the procedure.
Yeah, they
It
didn't
was lack
follow.
of knowledge.
So the procedures are there. You stand
Yes.
by the correctness of the procedure, but the cops did not follow.
Not really all cops.
Not
Only
cops.
a few.
A few cops did not follow. Okay, sir.
When you do Tokhang, you're not supposed to enter the house. Some of them enters the house.
So how?
Even though you are invited, you're not supposed to go inside the house.
Yes, sir. And based on data, sir, most of the deaths happen in NCRPO, sir. You agree with me on this, and you know this, sir.
Yes, you have the record.
Okay, sir. How do you plan to educate the cops to 100% follow these instructions that you've written?
We will
Particularly
present to them again the proper procedure.
So
we
review.
will have to do a what you call a simulation exercise so that everybody will know how to do it.
Okay, sir. There's also this problem of balancing between being relentless and being careful when
Yeah.
it comes to police operations.
Yes.
How do you think should you apply that on the ground, on the field?
First of all, the passion of every Filipino is for his community to be drug-free.
Yes.
Well, in so doing, we need to have procedures. That's why we need to lecture them. We need to give them advices. We need to present to them again the additional guidelines, the proper procedure in doing Tokhang. We need to explain to them that Tokhang is a police community relation activity. Oplan HVT is the anti-drug operation or Oplan high value target or even street level targets. So in so doing, we want to give them maybe a very simple workshop, maybe a half-day workshop for each district.
Will you do that?
We can do that because we have district directors who would be able to do that. We also have the chiefs of police who would be able to convey to everybody what to do.
Okay, sir. Let's go out of the operations, sir,
Yeah.
and administrative work, sir. Sharing drug war documents, sir, drug campaign documents. Journalists and human rights advocates are saying that it's so hard to get drug war documents from police stations. What do you think is the solution to this, and do you believe that this is happening?
Well, Rambo, we need to get formal requests also. There were a lot of times that media was able to get memos from offices, and it was placed in the Facebook. It's a different technology today. We have what we call the social media already,
Yeah.
and it's very hard for us to just give in. Even just simple documents should need proper requests,
Why-
formal requests, written requests.
Why the need for tight security when it comes to releasing the documents?
These are actually confidential. But there are a lot of
Spot
documents.
reports are confidential?
No, not spot reports. Not the spot reports. The spot reports are placed in the journal even.
Yes, sir. I'm
Okay?
talking about, sir, spot reports, sir.
Oh.
They should be easily accessible, sir.
Yeah, of course. The media was given the chance to do so, right? You can even look at the blotter anytime you
What
want.
would be a reason to restrict the access for spot reports, sir?
The reason maybe is one is we need to cleanse also those spot reports, because there are a lot of spot reports that are wrongly done. And if you would see, the spot reports have already been made simple. And at the same time, there are some spot reports actually that are made confidential because of the different kind of situation and incident. And these are the
what?
things that we are looking at. First, because we need to look at our data first. Sometimes there are spot reports that are wrongly done by the investigators, and that's why we always refresh our investigators in doing spot reports.
That's what I...
Initial reports actually states that it is an initial report. A spot report is an initial report. It doesn't really give the full detail yet
Yes.
of the operation. And sometimes we have reports that are differently done. Considering also the technology that we are in now, nagkakaroon ng kwan. The platform sometimes differs.
What happens? Fake news?
We talk. It becomes a fake news. The report is encounter, but the detail is a fire incident. And we have
Nangyayari yun, sir?
nangyari yun. Nagkakamali yung platform.
Saan usually, sir,
Because of
nagkakamali?
the kwan.
Yes. In writing the spot reports, what are the
Not
places
only
that
in
usually...
writing, in writing and even the computer.
Computer?
Yeah. Kung minsan nagkakaroon yung platform niyan, sobrang puno. Sobrang puno, hindi na masyadong makuha. Kaya yung spot report, pag titignan mo, may mali dito, balik mo, hindi ko alam kung anong nangyari talaga. Is it really a shooting incident? Is it a theft? Sometimes you could see those things.
But these are rare circumstances, sir.
Not really rare. Most especially in our case, we have a lot of spot reports in the day. Sometimes spot reports gets mixed up.
So there are problems when it comes to filing spot
Yes.
reports.
Even recording.
What places, sir? Technology, about police
One is
literacy?
technology, the accuracy, of course. The second one is it becomes already an investigation report. Instead of becoming an initial report, it's already an investigation report.
Once it's already an investigation report, sir, is the initial spot report still accessible or is it already confidential?
No, it's not. We present it. Actually, I would want to go straight. What you're telling me maybe is yung spot report na hinihingi ng Supreme Court. I
Yes,
think it's
sir.
already prepared. We have prepared
Yes, sir,
that.
prepared na
Yeah.
raw siya.
We have
Okay,
prepared that. These are thousands of spot
Yeah.
reports, Rambo, and we need to look at it one by one, and we just cannot do this in one sitting. That's why whenever we look at spot reports, it just so happened that there are a lot of wrong things done. It becomes an IR. It becomes sometimes it already says, instead of having an allegation, it becomes already a fake news of him being the suspect already.
Okay, sir. Let's shift, sir, to enforcing again, sir. Another problem when it comes to law enforcement in Metro Manila is, and the district directors and police commanders are telling me this too, is enforcing the law inside gated communities and enforcing the drug war or the anti-drug campaign inside gated communities. How do you plan on enforcing that when when the security groups need coordination or there are big wigs inside, gated communities?
Yeah. Actually, we talked about that long before Rambo in 2016 of November, I believe. We shall be coordinating with the homeowners association. One, we need to show them the watch list so that they would believe that these people are really in the watch list. We need to come up with innovations like coming up with the barangay captain at the same time, the media and everything. And that's the real procedure of Tokang.
Paano, sir?
What do you mean, paano?
What should the barangay official do and the media do when there's a gated community?
Well,
Diretso lang.
we will ask we have to coordinate that with the homeowner association.
You have to
Please be informed.
coordinate with
the
homeowner
homeowners
association.
Please remember that this is a private subdivision already. Okay, these are private areas, even condominiums. We need to coordinate it because
Why?
it's against the law to. It's trespassing. It's basically trespassing. Even though we go there for just a police community relation activity, talking with people, we need to get the approval of the homeowners association.
How long does it take to get the approval of the homeowners
On the
association?
first, I think there was some experience that the homeowners association immediately approved, but it takes a while because you have to write a memo to them. You have to have a formal request.
Formal request.
Yeah.
This is the norm when it comes to asking for police operations inside homeowners,
Yeah.
inside gated communities. Do you think that's an effective way of enforcing the law? That you have to get you have to get permission from the homeowners association first before going in, before enforcing the law.
Remember, Rambo, Tokhang is a police community relation
Yes.
activity. It's not an anti-drug operation.
Yes.
It's more or less the same. You could go there and then ask him. If you were the suspect, I would knock on you and then you come out. You will say, I will just say, Rambo, you are in the drug watch list. If you deny, no problem. We will have to build up a case against you. The same way is doing it in the streets. The proper way
Yes.
of doing it in the streets. I knock again. It's not a private subdivision. I knock on the door of the house. I ask them to come out, talk to them outside. The same thing. You are in our watch list. Please surrender with us. If you may, you could come to me personally, etc.
So-
if they don't surrender, the same way again. It's a case build-up. It's more or less
Categorically,
the same.
sir, is this a problem when it comes to law enforcement?
it's not. It's not gonna
Does it delay law enforcement?
It doesn't really delay law enforcement because law enforcement is basically understanding the procedures itself. You need to know what is a community relation activity from an anti-drug operations. When you talk already of anti-drug operations, it's differently done.
But can you do anti-drug operations? Can you monitor them?
Yes.
How
That's
can you
why-
monitor them? Can you enter the subdivisions?
Why don't they go out of the subdivision, Rambo?
So-
I can go inside there and say that I am a visitor of one of the houses in the subdivision.
The police
It's-
can do
it's a
that?
lot- yes, there's a lot of ways where we could do that. It's a
Okay.
lot. The Tokang procedure is the samely done in rich houses, in rich subdivisions, in private condominiums, and in the streets and houses along the roads.
You
It's
stand
the
by
samely
that
done.
statement, sir.
Yes.
It's being done inside. I don't know if it's being completely done, sir, in all gated communities. Have you
Well-
been briefed about that, sir?
I think
Or ideally, it should be done.
ideally it should be done. But in fairness, I would like to give you an example. There are a lot of cases already. There were a lot of high-value targets who were found to have been manufacturing, dealing, and distributing. We have to what? These are high-value targets. They don't hold the drug. They do not even hold the money. Okay, we have to coordinate with a lot of law enforcement people for us to catch them. And luckily, fortunately, the CIDG have done that.
Okay.
There were a lot. I need you to ask the director of the CIDG for you to know.
Okay, sir. But usually people, if ever there are people really, you said that there are people inside the communities involved, it's undertaken by the CIDG, not by the local police
I didn't say the CIDG. The CIDG are the ones who arrest them.
who arrest. Okay, but
okay.
the case build-up is
Is
on the
either
hands
that-
of
yeah,
local police.
Done by the local. No, it's a united activity. The CIDG, the local police, the intelligence community, and everybody who would want to
Okay,
force
sir.
a community.
Your opinion, sir, do you believe that crimes are rooted in drugs?
A lot of them, not all, but a lot of them.
Which ones?
Physical injuries. One is physical injuries,
Rooted.
robbery, theft. You've seen those who use rugby in the streets. These are juvenile delinquents who actually commit a lot of criminal activities in the streets whenever
Yes.
they're high. Some of them commit theft. I have been the chief of police of Taguig City, and a lot of these gangs, juvenile delinquents, were involved in drugs. After doing drugs, they go on robbery, on theft. They hit each other.
So
They
the
really-
motivation is
yeah.
always money.
Money. Of course. No, I think when you use drugs, sometimes it's presented to you. The first time it's presented to you, you don't choose money. Sometimes you just have somebody who you have a friend who would make you use it, to the extent that your brain actually is developed in such a way that you do some criminal activities that you don't even consider as criminal in you.
As in parang trip lang?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have what you call bad trip, drinking trip, everything.
Okay, sir.
Trip.
Let's shift now the conversation to your terrorism plan. Former RD Regional Director Oscar Abeldi, who is now the PNP chief, has made a lot of arrests for alleged terrorists in Metro Manila. And he said that there are terrorist havens, safe havens in Metro Manila. How would you deal with this situation?
I'm evaluating the statement actually. We have a lot of terrorists coming in and out of Manila ever since, which is very, very true. I have to evaluate the areas where they are actually in hiding. And that is why one of the reasons why I coordinated closely with the intelligence community.
Okay, so you're already talking with the intelligence community, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. What is the plan here? Can you disclose what can be disclosed when it comes to the plan against terrorism, sir?
Well, we'll help out each other, we'll cooperate, coordinate our activities. We will be coming up with activities that would be essential in the arrests, in the arrest or surrender of these terrorist cells and terrorist individuals. We will be coming up with a united group that will focus more on anti-terrorism.
There's an anti-terror group
Yeah.
in NCRPO.
It would just be a small group between the NCRPO intelligence group. It will be a
IG.
cohesive group.
So there's a
Well, of
cooperation
course.
between NCRPO
Yeah.
and
And
IG.
the intelligence, no, not
to
the intelligence community, the IC.
IC, as in...
IG is with the PNP. So IG is involved with the PNP already.
Okay, intelligence community as in many
Yes.
law enforcement groups with NCRPO. Why make this group in NCRPO, sir? Only in Metro Manila?
Well, we want to have a zero terror threat in Manila. That's one of the aims.
Okay, sir. Next topic, sir, for our conversation is Caloocan. Sabi, sir, ni Bato de la Rosa, former PNP chief, Bato de la Rosa, it's an unlucky place. May nasak ng maraming police chief and there are many teen killings from last year. How do you plan to go about Caloocan City?
We will be creating a group to focus on the first on the motorcycle riding suspects who are doing it in Caloocan. Second is to go against this group that is doing what the former chief PNP has said. I think he said that there's a group who just keeps on shooting anybody.
Yes.
We will have to focus on
You
that
will
group.
probe that, sir.
Yes.
There's going to be a group, particular group,
Yes.
to
We will.
focus on Caloocan.
Yes.
What's it called?
No name yet, but we are.
Is
we
it
are
an
discussing
oversight
it.
committee?
No, not an oversight committee. Is somebody who evaluates and monitors the activities.
A task
This group
force?
is not basically a task force. It's just a small group.
It's a
That's someone who will focus much on the Caloocan shooting incidents.
They will be composed of operatives,
Operatives,
police
of course.
officials.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, if we would be able to, if there are volunteers from the community, civilians who would be able to help us out, so much the better.
Okay, sir. Sir, there's a question from one of our watchers, viewers, here, from Patrick Segovia, sir. His question is, it sounds that you're a very accomplished career officer. What innovations can you bring in terms of improving the training of police officers, comparing our primitive system, according to Patrick Segovia, to Japan, to Korea, or other successful countries? What training?
The training are actually basic requirements, basic needs of each individual. We would be going, we have already what you call individual trainings, and we will focus much on unit training to maintain that cohesiveness and unity of that certain station or certain group. First is, when we deploy, the problem always is everybody knows really what to do. We know the basics, but when we are deployed for so long, we forget what's the basic procedure. When we go back, we just go on what you call vacation, and when we go back to report again, we are deployed again. We forget the procedure. So it should be a deploy,
Refreshment.
retrain, deploy.
How often should the refreshment course be done?
It should be done in a periodic basis. If it would be possible, it will be done on a quarterly basis, just like the SAF. The SAF can be, it's a hit and
Are you
run.
backing the program of current PNP Chief
Well,
Albayalde?
of course,
to
in so many ways.
support?
In so many ways, we support the program of the Chief PNP, General Director General Albiade.
In having
Why?
SAF instruct
Yes.
police officers, applicants?
There was just a misconception. Baka ang iniisip kasi nila, baka gusto nila the people think that we need to train them as a real SAF on what the SAF is doing. I think what our chief is saying is that it's just like the same as SAF training, most especially in commando. These things are needed by us, not only for ISO areas, but law enforcement areas. See, I would be deployed for 3 months.
Yeah.
When I come back, I go on vacation. I would refresh myself. When I go back to report to my unit, I need to be trained again. And after the training, I need to be redeployed.
Okay,
And
sir.
it goes, it's a cycle. It
Okay.
should be a cycle. And when I have to go to what you call requirements, like for example, the officers courses, I need to be what you call be out from operations for so long. When I go back to my unit, I need to be retrained again, refreshed of what's supposed to be done.
Okay. Another question from one of our commenters, sir, is how do you propose to surpass the crime prevention of past RDs in NCR?
Just like what I have said, my predecessor, General Albayalde, if I'm hoping that I would be able to surpass his accomplishments, but if not, at least I would equal it. I have no plans of whatever, showing off whatever, but I will do my best so that I would be able to assure the safety and security of the community.
You already know up until when you're going to stay in NCRPO, sir?
Still don't know, but basically I will only be having a short stint here. And I hope that I would be able to.
What do you mean by short stint, sir? Can you disclose that?
No comment for this, Rambo.
Okay, sir. We're going to the latter part of the interview now, to the closing part, sir. I'd like to ask you about how you plan to get the trust of residents in Metro Manila, because you're not really used to being in the public eye. It's only in the past few days that you're going around, talking to media, because you're really, really hard to talk to back when you're in Camp Crame, because you're in a very secretive part of Camp Crame. How do you plan to get the trust of residents here?
First, the slogan of the PNP right now for Team NCRPO is pro-poor and pro-weak. We are pro-poor and pro-weak. We need to assure the public that whoever is in front of us will be respected. Respect begets respect. Trust begets trust.
That's a new motto.
The new motto is pro-poor, pro-weak. I don't care if you are wearing shorts, chinelas, and somebody comes here. If you were there, I prioritize you. I will entertain you. I will have to get you as my first visitor first, other than the one who is very rich.
Are there policies that you're going to release to back up this motto?
Yes, there will
What?
be. First, maybe it would be to give proper recognition to all kinds of people, all people, not only the rich, but also the poor, most especially the weak. I will be directing also my deputies to be going around NCRPO. They will be having with them a sector so that they would be able to also inspect just like me. But this will only be occasionally. I would be the one who would be regularly going around. I would be instructing also my district directors to cluster, to sectorize their areas so that there would be supervisors and quick response teams or special response teams that would be able to respond to any kind of crisis situation.
Why this motto particularly, sir? Pro-poor and pro-weak.
Well, I came from the poor. Although my mother and father are government employees, we were 8 siblings, and we were challenged also by the education that my father and mother gave us. We had I believe that we were given a very good education by my mother and father. That is why for the poor and the weak to improve, they should be able to have a good education, and having a good education should be in a peaceful and orderly community. that is one way of building the the moral fiber of each individual.
So you're going to focus on impoverished communities, impoverished sectors in Metro Manila in law enforcement?
Yes.
Because usually these are the areas where there are a lot of crimes.
Yes.
Will there be a plan for this, sir?
Yes.
Directive for this, sir?
Yes.
How will it work, sir?
Well, I just hope it will work just like the same way as I did in Palar. Palar is a poor community. There are a lot of squatters there. It's in Taguig City. It's just down Bonifacio Global City. I was able to go there and was able to assure the public or the community of their enhancement, of their development. And this was supported by the local government unit before.
Okay, sir.
And I hope the LGUs and the LCEs would be able to support us in this kind of endeavor.
Okay, sir. To wrap this up, sir, there are a lot of plans that you want to pursue.
Yes.
But you mentioned that you're just going to stay in this position for a short stint.
Yes.
How do you plan to pursue this if you're just going to stay here in that position for a short time?
Well, it will be made as a policy for everybody to implement. And I hope that even though I'm not here, they would continue implementing it.
Okay, sir.
The word there is the slogan that I bring to NCRPO is for them to know what to do in cases of any kind of situation, whether be it a crisis, a law enforcement problem, or a crime investigation problem. I would want well, everybody's poor and pro-weak, but the thing is, we need to focus. We need to focus on this kind of plan. Focusing on impoverished communities is one of the things that I have done before, and I hope that I would still be able to do it here in the whole NCRPO.
My last question, sir, to wrap everything up. I don't know how long you're going to stay there. You also don't know, I think. But describe to me the police that you want to leave behind when you leave that point. You leave that post.
Well, as our motto says, ano nga ba? Justice. What's that? Justice, honor, justice, and
Integrity.
service. The only time that you have given honor to yourself is when you have given justice to the community that you are serving.
Justice.
Justice, service, and honor. The only time that the only time that you would have honor in yourself is when you have been able to give justice and service to the community.
Okay, that is all, sir.
Yeah.
That has been Police Director Camilo Cascolan, the Chief of the National Capital Region Police Office. Thank you for joining us.